So the power and the tools are at your fingertips. And, the convenience of having sex when you want and not worried about having more munchkins or any munchkins or, just randomly sleeping with who you want. So there's that. And then there's, a lighter flow, or maybe, you just skip that sugar week and you turn it off altogether. Or you get an implant and these annoyances disappear during the month, right? Well, one, your cycle is detoxifying. Like when you turn off that flow, you're backing up your toxins, right? And you might not think that's a big deal when you're 20 or even 30, but by the time you're here, it's a big deal. If you've done all that and then your cycle really starts to fall apart in your 40s, your hormones are whacked and you end up with a hysterectomy, and you don't mind it because you're bleeding like a stuck pig, so you think that's a good answer. But the building blocks, like you were setting up this bad path from day one, and even your menstrual products, your feminine hygiene stuff, if you've got period problems at all, those things are a huge part of it. Huge part of it. A lot of people start out as preteens with estrogen issues, and that my friend is a whole different conversation about endocrine disruptors and even your load from mother to child in the womb, your toxic load. That's kind of a different video. That's kind of a longer thing. But anyway, where I was going with the full moon, women in our cycles, and yep, the men in the white coats gave us the power. They gave us these tools, so we can just ixnay on the bleeding. So think about the moon and the earth and growing and everything, right? So what if these men in the white coats could just magically stop the earth from cycling? What do you think would happen? Like, it would be a catastrophe. Everything would fall out of balance. It would be a complete catastrophe. Now I want you to take that thought of how tragic that would be and apply it to the female cycle. So you cannot jack with that stuff and expect your body to just fall in line and not be different, not be freaked out. Yeah, I know some people go on hormones or birth control because their cycles are so weird, but that my friend is a fixable issue if you've got some self-discipline and if you're willing to eat different, do some things different, and the rest of your life will be different. You shouldn't need those fake hormones. And those fake hormones, you can't just plug that stuff in and not expect in this stage of life or somewhere for that to just show up as evil, as cancer, or as other issues. Like, you just don't plug in stuff to trick your body and expect things not to spiral bad, out of control somewhere else. Look at these guys. Look at these weeds. So, life cycle. What we do, root causes, what we have control of. We have control of so much more than we think. Like, did you know that, well, I just don't tolerate people saying, well, I have high blood pressure because my grandma did, or I have, type 2 diabetes because it runs in my family. That's bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. You have so much more control over you than you realize. Your genetic code, there is a fine, little tiny bit of that is actually not in your control. There's a little bit, but the majority of those genes that get flipped on that cause disease in your body, they got flipped on because of you, because of things that you're putting in your body, toxins, traumas, thoughts, all that negativity, low frequency, bad food, parasites, candida, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, bad oils, all of that stuff matters. Aspartame, chemicals, dyes, food dyes, preservatives, it all matters. And yes, it could be that your gene pool was more fragile than others. That's true. It could be that the cards were stacked against you, but that still doesn't mean that you can't do something about it. That absolutely is no excuse to sit on your ass and just say, poor me, I have MS. Poor me, I have fibromyalgia. Poor me, I have diabetes. That's bull. I call bull on that. You can do something about it. You need the right tools, you need the right motivation, and you gotta call up some self-discipline out of the depths of your soul. And then you gotta stick to it. You gotta stick to it. Every day, you gotta stick to it. Me, right here, I am the ultimate hypocrite, right? Total hypocrite. Every day I eat stuff I shouldn't. Every day, every week I skip a walk when I really had time, but I spent too much time scrolling on social media or whatever else, and then all of a sudden, oh, gotta go. So I get it. I'm human. I am preaching to the choir. I'm going to be your hypocritical health coach, and I'm going to keep talking to you because it helps me. In the long run, it's all about me. Making these videos and talking to you helps me. I am trying to stay accountable. I am. I'm always going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it authentic. I'm never going to claim that I have it all together or that I'm perfect. But as I walk through it and I learn from my mistakes, I'm going to share them with you. So maybe you can avoid my mistakes, or maybe you can identify with my mistakes, and we'll have a virtual friendship because you're like just in alignment with my failures and hopefully with my successes. My successes right now, I've been working through parasites, detoxing and healing for over a year. I don't have symptoms of fibromyalgia or Hashimoto's at all anymore. In general, my energy is pretty damn stellar. I feel better at 50 than I did at 40. I got a ways to go. Walking this out, you don't have to be perfect. That's where I'm getting at with my whole hypocritical health coach, is I'm just saying, don't try to be perfect, or you'll sit in your recliner, you'll sit on your couch, you'll never buy an organic apple because it's too big. It's too big. I'm telling you, it's not too big. You start somewhere. Start with something manageable, whether it's just the foods, just doing that 7 inflammatory foods. If you want to know what they are, hit me up or go find JJ Virgin. I use her book, The Virgin Diet. Simple, easy read. Start somewhere. But then, okay, you got to get 30 days in, and then you got to find another thing. What else are you going to do? You're going to start with movement. You're going to start with some lymph massage, some tapping, whatever it is. But you got to bring month 1 with you. Like JJ's book, she says 28 days. No, you stay there. You stay there for life. You can move into an 80-20 relationship with those foods when you're where your health needs to be. So there too. Hypocrite. I'm not where I need to be, and I 80-20 way too much. I'm running out of time. I pray for you. I pray for all my clients, and I pray for anybody who this frequency is going out to. You'll find your way. You'll find your health.